Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. For today, our group will present our article summary. And first of all, we will introduce ourselves. And my name is Nur AFIFAH Alia Binti FADZIL, and my ID number is 2020820408.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Nur AQILAH binti ISMAIL. My ID number is 2020871268.
Assalamualaikum, my name is SHAFIQAH binti ATHMAN. My matrix number is 2020617242.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Fatin Syahirah binti Abdul Hadi Kamil. My matrix number is 2020417684.
And the last one is me. I'm NURSYAZANA binti Adam. My ID started is 2020894514. Before we start our presentation, we're truly sorry if there are noise interference or lagging from us. We hope you can understand about it, and I'm sorry if I can't open my camera because I'm lacking of internet connection. So I really hope that you all can understand me. Now let's proceed to our presentation. I will pass it to AFIFAH.
The first article is Johari window and effective model for improving interpersonal communication and managerial effectiveness. The key of successful to any organization is manage their communication a good around people and enhance social interpersonal relationship in an area of shared understanding related to boost organizational success. Share about how the Johari window communication model is a groundbreaking theory that offers important insight for enhancing interpersonal communication through self-awareness and comprehension can be used to improve interpersonal communication within organization. The correlation between interpersonal relationship and managerial effectiveness is also highlighted in this article. Plus, it also talks about connection between group dynamic and interpersonal relationship. Next. Introduction. The term interpersonal can be interpreted as involving personal relationship between people. The oral, written, and non-verbal form of communication are all included in interpersonal communication. The word is most commonly used to refer to spoken communication between two individuals or group of personal level, and it can be synchronized face-to-face or asynchronized by using email and messaging. Johari window is central to the idea of interpersonal semantics. This communication model was established in the 1950s by American psychologists, and its name comes from the creator Joseph Lutz and Harry Ingham. The Johari window is an easy and effective method for developing self-awareness, personality, and interpersonal communication, team development, group dynamic, and intergroup relation, and also known as disclosed model of self-awareness. This model enables us to look into the way we look into ourselves and how other people view us. The Johari window is based on the idea that people have the inherent capacity to follow our four different approaches to interpersonal relationship with themselves. And the first one will be ability to disclose a lot of information about themselves. The second one, ability to disclose any information about themselves. The third one, ability to receive feedback in constructive way. And the last one, the fourth, ability to receive any feedback about themselves. Okay, for the objective, we have a three objective in this article. The first one is to study the application of Johari window in improving interpersonal communication. Second one, to examine the link between interpersonal communication and managerial effectiveness. And the last one, to explore and examine the link between the group dynamics and interpersonal communication in an organization. For the discussion, I will pass to Shazana.
Okay. Okay. For the discussion, there are two discussion in this research, which is first one is Johari window as a tool for for improving interpersonal relationship. I'm sorry. The management's goal is to create an entity or a team's open space, since an open-minded person or team receptive to the ideas of others. These people are able to interact together with others and free to distrust, confusion, disagreement, and misunderstanding. They still have a duty to foster a philosophy of honesty and accountability. Table 2 show a new manager's open window, while Table 3 shows a manager's open window. Now persons are more transparent than potential candidates, since established persons have more expertise and experience than new entrants. With input from new participants, the open space can be horizontal create. It can also develop vertically if new participants exchange knowledge. The second one is link between effective managers and interpersonal relationship. Communicating and managing financial capital are far more important than managing human resources. Highly efficient administrators communicate easily with their colleagues and staff, the maker, the handler, and the taskmaster. And also the control unit are all types which do not create transparent dialogue and share insights. The designers are strongly self-confident and confident in themselves, along with a profound knowledge of their feelings, talents, shortcomings, beliefs, and motivations. There are others are rational and frank. For the conclusion, I will pass it to Shafika.
The conclusion of this article is, it is well known that today's world requires professionals who are not merely skilled and competent, but also have certain personal qualities on which they depend, as individuals and groups, on how effectively they work in an organization. The purpose of this tool is to encourage students to learn in the classroom easily to meet the industry's expectation. With his emphasis on feedback and disclosure, Johari window sufficiently describes interpersonal semantics and their role in communication with oneself.
Before we continue to the article 2, our comment about this article is this Johari window help the organization have a good two-way communication, because as we know, in working we must give information to any department of our organization. So we need to have a great communication, and when we use this Johari window, is one of the excellent method that can give good result of our communication. That's all from the article 1.
For the article 2, I'm AQILAH will continue the presentation. The title is Effect of Learning Style on Self-Esteem and Stress Levels of University Students. For the abstract, the assessment of an individual's self is essential because it has impact one's life, including student life. The aim of this research is about learning styles impact on someone's self-esteem. A cross-sectional research was conducted among students in the University of Karachi's Psychology Department 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th years. Interviews were used to gather all of the information. Rosenberg self-esteem scale, which is considered as highly accurate and valid instrument for the subjective evaluation of self-esteem, was used to measure self-esteem. The stress scale was used to assess the participants' level of perceived stress, feeling, and thought over the previous months. A variety of learning approaches were used to investigate the impact of student knowledge of learning style, which we call it as LS. There were 240 students in all, with 87 males and 153 females. The students are from the middle and upper socioeconomic backgrounds. The majority of students have average self-esteem but elevate stress level, indicating that self-esteem does not always affect stress level, but it is the condition that does. It is possible that it is hurting your self-esteem and stress level. Furthermore, we discover that learning style has a major impact on self-esteem and stress levels. The most popular learning style among students in various educational years are visual and solitary learning, which the majority of students preferring visual learning. So for the introduction is educational achievement has a significant impact on psychology well-being, and because of its significance, it has been truly researched as has its impact. Self-esteem, self-efficacy, stress, and learning style adopted are all factors to consider. Self-esteem is nothing more than a positive or negative outlook about yourself, as well as self-efficacy, and it related to one's belief in one's abilities. Every skill on task that has been delegated to you, any of these consideration plays a significant role in a student academic performance. When a student is under a lot of stress, yeah, it has a negative impact and effect on their self-esteem, which is more likely to be negative than positive. Self-esteem is used to reflect personal variables, while learning style and depression are used to represent situational influence in this analysis. Other research has looked at this, the effect of self-esteem on academic achievement and success among students in the health science. For students, college and university life is a significant change from high school. For the third one, which is objective. First of the objective of this research, which is learning style and learning style self-esteem, is Rosenberg self-esteem scale, which is considered as a highly accurate and valid method for the subjective evaluation of self-esteem, was used to measure self-esteem. So the Rosenberg self-esteem scale is used to measure self-esteem. For the second one is variety of learning approach were used to investigate the impact of students' knowledge of learning style and and the third one is find the most common learning style among students for different educational and search for preferred learning style, which is um the they got three types of learning style. Okay, for the discussion, I will pass to Shazana.
Okay, discussion for this article is stress and gratitude in our life are key players, particularly in pressure environments. Once students are accepted, they need to transition to a different learning framework. Egoism, family, and others' cultural aspiration and styles of learning are all important. This study has a large effect on self-esteem in the learning style. Educators have long wanted to know the nuances in the learning patterns of pupils. According to previous courses, students refer visual learning to verbal learning. Those who vote for solo and visual instruction have been shown to be stressful. There is also high tension on students attracted by a normal degree of self-esteem. Our students experience a high degree of stress in terms of self-esteem. This suggests that stress does not affect too much in Pakistani students, that self-appreciation will decrease. They are the students who have the natural self-esteem inspiration. The next slide, I will pass it to Nur
The conclusion of this article is the study reveals that most university undergraduates have normal self-assurance and high stress levels in both genders. We have observed styles that are highly related to both self-esteem and stress, but this stress has little or no effect on self-esteem among students. The visual and personal learning style is the most preferred way for students. A wide-ranging data should be available that also include the causes of stress and coping strategies in the student group.
Okay, for the third article, I will present it. Competing theories of borderline personality disorder. Abstract. The author reviewed four theories that propose different conceptualizations of borderline personality disorder (BPD) co-psychopathology, excess aggression, emotional dysregulation, failed mentalization, and interpersonal hypersensitivity. The theories are compared in their ability to elucidate BPD's part of four usually distinct sectors of psychopathology. Their high overlap with other disorders, their ability to differentiate BPD from other disorders, their integration of heritability, and their clinical applicability. The aim of this review are to increase awareness of these theories, to stimulate improved theories, and to foster testable hypotheses in order that research can advance our knowledge about BPD's core. Introduction. At present, these are multiple theories about what comprises the core of borderline mental disorder (BPD) psychopathology, each with distinctive features and every with associated model of treatment. We will examine the distinctions between four major theories of BPD and assess their relative merits. Table 1. These four theories were selected because each define an organizing core for BPD. All have associated and widely known models for psychotherapy, and every model is taught by a lively, influential, and committed faculty. Moreover, each theory features a significant body of research that supports its claims. For the objective, the methodology used for preparing this review rests heavily on knowledge and critical analysis of the relevant literature. This grounding has been combined with clinical experience, notably using the therapies based on these four theories, and with the perspective gained from the author's experience teaching or writing about these theories. So for discussion, I will pass it to Shazana.
Okay, for the discussion, builders of theory should listen more to the dedicated experts who do not offer criticism. There was open discussion between those who create these hypotheses. Perhaps the contributions of each others or the ideas concepts have not been addressed. By reflecting on how to detect these positions, theories may be improved. This is the following suggestion as to how these theories might improve. The first one, the exhaustive aggregation theory, is the standard bearing theory that dominates conceptualization of BPD for more 20 years. The theory has good sensitivity, standard 2, and specificity, standard 3. The field should hope for the continued training in TFP theory. The persistence of BPD as fully a conflict disorder is hard to justify and has an important role to play in the understanding of the disorder. The second one, emotional dysregulation theory, is overdue for a major revamp. Theory needs to identify either excessive emotion or emotional regulation as a candidate for BPD's genetic disposition. The field will benefit from broader use of the skills group, divorce from individual therapy, and 24/7 availability, argues Dr. Peter Wilkinson. The third one, field metallization theory, is a theory that is actively undergoing change. Theory needs to clarify where metallization refers to a general and stable metallization. All people have more or less, and that all psychotherapists need to address. Theory will also benefit from further reconciliation of the attachment paradigms. The theory is appealing because of its development organs. The last one is the interpersonal hypersensitivity theory risks being too tightly bound by the existing description of DSM-BPD. So much is still unknown. Its emphasis on genetic clearance, the rise of encourage a biologically identification model of BPDs that could dismiss patients' senses of agency or hope for basic physiological change. It also provocatively raised the question about whether an interpersonal appropriate relationship should be seen as heavily influenced by one's genes. That's all from me. Then I will pass it to Shafiqah.
For Article 3, there are 5 summaries for each theory. Summary for first theory is the main core sector of the BPD remains in controversy. It falls within the self-cognitive sector by excessive aggression theory. Theory of emotional dysregulation is recognized the self-sector. Next, summary for second theory is excessive aggression and field theories of metallization of a pro-applicative concepts. The theory of interpersonal hypersensitive takes from both concepts. The concept of self is not included in the theory of emotional dysregulation. The theory also contradicts the independence of BPD from bipolar disorder. Summary for third theory is the psychoanalytical theory, behaviorism, and emotional dysregulation, and attachment theory cause excessive aggression. Their proposed core match what was identified as BPD independently, but were never meant to be specific to this disorder. A narrower mode is the SMBPD specific mentalization theory has not been defined, which identifies the vulnerability of the capability. Next, the summary for fourth theory is all of them identify top-down cortical failures as BPD core of organization, perception, or regulation. Excessive anger, emotional disturbedness, and field mentalism theories in view of conflicting rather than a lack of core for BPD. The theory of excessive aggression stands alone. In seeing the core of BPD alone as genetic, the interpersonal theory of hypersensitivity stands. Lastly, the summary for the last theory is excessive aggression is a difficult to understand theory with limited clinical application. It claims alone that it changed the structure of the personality of the BPD patient. The theory of emotional dysregulation, failure of metallization, and individualization are both implemented via groups. The theory of interpersonal hypersensitivity offers an appropriate model of treatment for general clinical application.
And that's all presentation from us, and we hope all the things that will be explained will be understood by Madam Rashida, and we were sorry to any lack of thing, especially we cannot open the camera due to the internet connection is very poor. And that's all from us, and thank you.
Thank you, Madam.